Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you how to get the platinum pin for the most recent Frozen event, Memories of the Season. This event will run until December 27th, so you still have some time to try to get the platinum pin. It's not too hard, but here's the full guide on how to get the platinum pin if you get stuck on any of the missions. Take a look at the description below. I will put times in place, so where if you have a particular mission you're stuck on, you could jump to those specific missions and I could try to help you out with that. If you don't have the Tsum that I'm using, leave it in the comments box and I'll try to help you out to walk you through which Tsums are best to use. But let's take a look at this very first mission in the last area, Area 6. For this mission, you will need to get 18,750,000 points, and you could use any Tsum that you want. I'm using Jedi Luke because I score the most points with him, but essentially you could use any Tsum out there that you feel the most comfortable with, and you could get the most points with. You don't have to use Jedi Luke. Since it's not a one-play mission, you just need to play this over and over again until you hit that 18,750,000 points. The second mission is start 7 fever times in one play with a pointy hair Tsum. This is another one of those where you just need to use a pointy hair Tsum, and as long as you have a pointy hair Tsum, the trick is relatively the same. The strategy is the same for any of the Tsums out there. So what you want to do is you want to save your ability till the very end of the fever bar, as well as any of the bubbles. You want to save all the bubbles and any skills until your fever bar is at the very end. That's when you want to activate it. As you can see here, I have the skill saved up, but I'm not using it right away. I am saving it until my fever bar runs out, and then I'm going to activate it. By doing it this way, it will charge up your fever right away, saves you a lot of time, prevents your clock from running off, and then you want to focus on clearing the Tsum that you're using. And essentially, you just got to repeat that process until you get 7 fevers. You're likely going to have about 3 to 5 seconds left before you hit the 7th fever. Getting 7 fevers in one game is actually not too difficult if you follow this process. Next, we have get a 128 combo in one play, and the Tsum that I'm going to be using is Patch. Patch is really good for combos because of his ability, but you could use any Tsum out there. You just got to play really fast, and 128 is not that difficult. You should be able to do it if you play fast enough, and just focus on connecting 3 chains or more. That way you can get the high combo. So longest chain is not a factor. Just find any 3 that you see and go ahead and clear it, and getting the 5-4 could be helpful. So as you can see, the combo here, or using the ability, will get you roughly about 30 to 40 clear. So you essentially just need to activate the ability 3 to 4 times with Patch, and you'll be able to clear the mission. So we're at 115, and then we have 151. So you get about 39 to 40 clears per ability. Next up, we have pop 3 star bubbles in one play, and the Tsum that I'm going to be using is Miss Bunny, but Timothy works exactly the same. So whichever Tsum you have at a higher level between Timothy and Miss Bunny, pick the one you have the highest skill level for. But this essentially is a chance in a way, because you're hoping after you activate the ability that a star bubble will show up. Just do this repeatedly and you should be able to get a star bubble, and I got lucky there on one of them. Each of the abilities should generate random bubbles, and in my case I think it took me about 2 times only to get the star bubbles that I needed, but I think at the very end I was able to get 12. So you only need 3. Any Tsum that makes bubble will work. Then after that, we have earned 1800 coins in one play with a Frozen Tsum. I decided to use Travel Elsa just because she is this month's newest Tsum. There really is no trick to this. Just use any Frozen Tsum out there. You will want to use the 5-4 and the coin boost if you are struggling to get 1800. And if you are using Travel Elsa, try to take your time here with the skill and find a spot where it has the most crystals and then pop them all on the screen. There's really no rush to finding the right crystals. You have a good 5 seconds, so just take your time with it and then find the right spot and then activate it. There is a time limit, so as long as you do it under, I think, like 5 or 7 seconds, you should be okay. And with that, with the 5-4 on, you should be able to get 1800. If not, if you are the type that don't really want to mess with the ability, Kristoff is another one if you have him at a pretty high skill level. But at the end of the day, whichever Tsum you have the highest skill level for will be helpful. And in this case, and for this event, you try to use this month's Tsum, so either Kristoff, Travel Elsa, or Travel Anna, because they will give you a character bonus at the end. on to the next one, which is clear 860 Tsums in one play. You could use any Tsums here, but I decided to use Kristoff because he is this month's Tsum. And with this month's Tsum, you only need to clear 574 Tsums. But other good Tsums you could use without the bonus is Beast, Gaston, Bat Hat Mini, Jedi Luke for sure, Queen Elsa. All of those are pretty good. And if you are still struggling with this, you could try to use 5-4 as well as time bonus. That should help you, give you a little bit more time to get to 860. But using any of the ones that I mentioned should definitely get you to 860 with this month's Zoom. So Travel Anna, Travel Elsa, and Kristoff, you only need 574. There's really no trick to this. Just play as fast as you can and really try to get to that marker. Next up, we have use 65 skills, and since this isn't a one play mission, you could use any Tsum out there. I decided to use Owl because with Owl you could get over 20 skills per game, so which really speeds up the process. If you are just trying to beat the missions as quick as possible, using Owl could be very helpful. I ended up doing like 20 or 25 skills per game, so it only took me about 3 games to get this completed. But you can use any Tsums that you would like, and if you are grinding for coins, maybe just continue to use your coin farmer and take it there. So Jedi Luke is also fine for this. It will take a longer time for you to finish it, and I was really just trying to complete these as fast as possible. Next, we have pop 11 score bubbles in one play with a Princess Tsum. So the champion for this one is going to be Moana. If you have Moana, it's going to be a very easy mission for you. If not, you could use this month's Tsum. So Travel Anna or Travel Elsa are also good, and you will only need to pop 7 score bubbles to pass this mission. But the strategy with using Moana is not actually using it right away like I just did there, but you want to collect your skill. Don't activate it right away, but clear everything besides Moana off the screen and have the Moana settle to the bottom before you activate the ability. By doing that, it will turn every Moana into a score bubble, so technically you only need 1 skill to get this completed. Next, we have clear 5 Big Tsums in one play, and the champion for this one is going to be Sully. Sully, the way he works is once you activate his ability, it will create giant forms of himself, and you just need to connect them, and you'll complete the mission. So Sully is a good way to go. Another one will be Baymax. Next, we have pop 5 time bubbles in one play, and the best Tsum for this is Shivering Piglet, and I hope you guys picked him up last couple of months when it was released in the selection box. The reason why Shivering Piglet is good because every time you activate his ability, he will drop a time bubble for you to pick up. So essentially, you just need to use his ability 5 times to generate 5 time bubbles. But if you don't have Shivering Piglet, that's okay. Cinderella also works. You just want to make sure that you're using the abilities appropriately, swiping left to right to get that 10 to 11 sweet spots to create a time bubble. But Shivering Piglet is the best Tsum to use for this mission. Next, we have get a 36 plus chain, and for this one, I am going to be using Elsa, and I'm using the regular Elsa, not this month's Elsa. If you are using this month's new Tsum, you will need to only get 28 plus chains, so you don't need the whole 36, but even 28 is still going to be a little bit difficult. And the trick here is to use the ability, but don't crack the ice right away. You want to continue to collect more Elsas until you get to the second stage or so, and a second row of ice. Once the 2 rows are connected together, you want to make sure they lay flat and then activate the ability. And at that moment, that's when you want to pop it, and you should get in the 40s. By doing this, you should be able to easily clear it. And I'm also using the 5-4 on that one. Next, we have scored 5,500,000 points in one play with a White Eye Tsum. So for this one, you could use either Travel Elsa or Travel Anna from this month's event. With this month's event, you only need to get 3,666,667 points. So a lot lower scores than if you were to use another Tsum. So I recommend using this month's Tsums. It's a lot easier with this month's Tsum. So try to do that, but if you don't, you will have to really see what's in your arsenal and essentially use the one that has the highest score. Next, we have collect magic points and decorate memories. So this one doesn't have a time limit, essentially you just play through. I am using this MyTsums because you will get a character bonus, which helps you speed up the process of getting to the platinum pin. So use any Tsum that you like, but this MyTsums will speed up the process. on to the next mission, which is earning 715 XP in one play, and I am going to use Jedi Luke because Jedi Luke is one of my XP earners when I was trying to grind to 500. He's very easy to get to the 800 XP. But if you don't have Jedi Luke, that's okay, because if you use this month's Tsum, you only need to get 550 XP. So just use the Tsum that essentially gets you the highest score, because the score is correlated to XP. So the highest score that you have, just use that Tsum. Next, we have clear 880 Tsums in one play with a tied hair Tsum. So I am going to be using Travel Elsa, and with Travel Elsa or any of this month's Tsum, so with Travel Anna, we'll only need to clear 587 Tsums. You can't use Kristoff because his hair is not tied up, but Travel Elsa or Travel Anna are a good one for this. Next, we have pop 32 score bubbles, and this is not one of those events where you have to do it in one play. So same method as earlier with Moana, just wait until Moana settles at the bottom and then pop them all at once. You could technically get this all done in one game, so which saves you a lot of time. But any of the Tsums out there that mix score bubbles will do. So any Tsums that you use that have a high skill level will generate a score bubble for you, but Moana is going to be the best for generating score bubbles. Next, we have use 20 skills in one play, and this one is going to be a little bit challenging because if you don't have Owl, it's going to be a little bit difficult. But if you don't have Owl, consider using Thumper or Eeyore. Those two have really low charge up time, so you could use those other two if you don't have Owl. But if you use this month's Tsum, you will only need to use the skill 15 times, which is still doable, but it is a little hard, so you may need to use the additional time and 5-4 at the same time to get to 15 skills with this month's Tsum. Kristoff is probably going to be the best one to use for this month to get to the 15 skills if you don't have Owl, Thumper, or Eeyore, but I think those are going to be the best to get to 20 skills per play. Next, we have clear 250 MyTsums in one play with the Frozen Tsum. I decided to use Kristoff just because I wanted to switch things up, but any of this month's Tsums will do. You could even use Travel Anna. I think Travel Anna is actually the best one for this one because once you activate Travel Anna's ability, you could just clear a bunch more Travel Annas on the screen because Travel Anna only spawns either Kristoff's or Travel Anna. So just focus on clearing Travel Anna versus Kristoff, and you should be able to get 250 with no problem. And if you're using this month's Tsums, you only need to clear 160 MyTsums. Next, we have pop 6 coin bubbles in one play, and the Tsums that I'm going to be using is Miss Bunny. But like the other ones, Timothy is also just as good, depending on which one you have at a higher skill level. But essentially, you just want to play as fast as possible and focus on clearing your Tsum. In my case, it's Miss Bunny, and activate the skill as much as possible, and you should get at least 6 coin bubbles. And then finally, we have the very last, collect magic points and decorate memories. I decided to speed this up because it really was just a grind to finish this event, to get to the very last mission, and there's really no fast way of doing this. I did end up using Kristoff for all of these because I got the character bonus using this MyTsums. But essentially, just play as fast as you can and get to the very end, so that way you can get the platinum pin. But there's really no strategy to this because you're not doing it where you need to complete it in one play. So you could play this as much as, or not as much, but as long as you want. You could technically only get one per game, and that's okay. It's just it's gonna take you a lot longer. So just play through it, and hopefully you complete it as quick as possible. So that's pretty much it for this one. How did you guys like the event for this month? I thought that the month, it was kind of repetitive and it was kind of a grind, but I really liked the animations and the pin itself. I really liked that picture at the very end with all the Frozen characters together. And the pin is pretty cool for this month, and the gifts are pretty cool too. It was just kind of a grind, but hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe for more Tsum content. I'll be doing more of these in the future, so hopefully you guys enjoy. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching.